Good morning, everybody. My name is Tim Williams. We're here to break down today's four-game MLB DraftKings slate. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tim. We've been breaking down spring training slates over on DraftKings. Heading into the baseball season, we'll be breaking down those games as well. If you love DFS, if you love baseball, subscribe to this channel. Don't miss out on all the content, all the daily content we've been doing. Yesterday, we were so close in binking that main contest. If it wasn't for that Mike Ford home run, we would have had first place, but we'll just shake that one off. We'll get right into it. We got four games here. We got the majority of the lineups out. Still waiting on the Phillies. The Red Sox don't have a starter yet. A little bit of COVID going on in that situation. But yeah, we have most of the information we need here. So let's just hop right into this presentation. No big deal. All right, first game here. We have the Mets going against the Marlins. Mets are favorited here. Mike Montgomery going against Dan Castano. Dan a little bit roughed up a little bit. He's a lefty. Mets can hit lefties pretty well and have been in spring training. So if the Mets can get on the Marlins early, I think they have a good chance of racking up some runs here. So we might look at these hitters as some potential stacking options. Montgomery's pitched fairly well, 4.2 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 1 walk, 7 Ks. I don't trust him, but you could go that way. Marlins, not the best hitters, but not the worst hitters. But over on the Mets side, 18th in average, 16th in on-base percentage. They're getting better as we get closer and closer to the season. 25th in home runs. They're not striking out. So I rarely would want to put a pitcher against the Mets. So that leaves Dan out of the question. For me, pitching wise, the Mets, they've been pitching very well. 3rd in strikeouts, 4th in whip. So they're not allowing a ton of hits, not allowing a lot of walks, not giving up a lot of home runs. They're not really striking guys out either, which is a little bit disappointing. But overall, pretty solid team. In play today, love Lindor. Dom Smith, both of those guys are crushing lefties. So like I said, if they get on Dan early, we should see some runs score. We'll see. Nimmo, Conforto, both solid against lefties. Conforto has a home run against Dan Castano in the past. So those are the primary core options there. On the Marlins side, hitting wise, 22nd in average, 20th in on base percentage. They can steal bases. I will say that. So if they do get on, look for them to run. They're not going to really hit with a lot of power. They're also not going to strike out that much. Remember, this was a playoff team last year, so there is talent. Pitching wise, 2nd and 5th in whip. So pitching has been excellent. They are last in giving up home runs. So that is a bit of a risk for the Mets. So the Mets got to jump out early. And then 21st in strikeouts for the Marlins. So overall, not bad. Hitting wise, in play would be Cooper, Dickerson, Duvall, Aguilar. They're hitting lefties pretty well. Montgomery, a lefty. So those are the options there. I don't love it, but moving on, we have the Yankees and the Phillies. We don't have the Phillies lineup just yet, but we got Kluber going against Wheeler. Kluber, 9.2 innings pitched, has pitched well. The fastball, it doesn't look great. But he has been able to get guys out. He's striking out. He's strikeout per inning, gave up 7 hits. He has given up a home run, walked a few guys here and there. Yankees hitters wise, we know they're not going to hit for average. They're not hitting for, they're not getting on base, but they will hit home runs and they will strike out. So I actually think Wheeler might be a decent option against the Yankees, but we'll get into that once we flip to the Phillies side. Yankees pitching has been excellent. 4th in ERA, 2nd in whip, 12th in home runs allowed. So they will give up the occasional home run, but they are striking guys out at a high rate. We got some starters resting for the Yankees today. So in play, I like DJ. I like Hicks. But, he can take walks. But that's Torres as well. He had a huge, massive game yesterday. But overall, not a ton of love on the Yankees side. For the Phillies, you got Wheeler, who's been struggling for sure. He's trying to introduce a new pitch, a slider. I'm not really sure. It doesn't seem like that's really working out too well, but he's talking about being more consistent. And as we're getting closer to the season, this could be the spot where he has to prove himself. And he did not so great against the Yankees earlier in spring training. Maybe it's just back to basics, throw the fastball. He's pitched 16.2 innings, gave up 19 hits, 11 earned runs, 2 home runs, struck out 18, walked 6. So the strikeouts are there. That's what we love in DraftKings. He hasn't been that great, so that might scare some people off. So in GPP settings, I might take a chance here, kind of like a revenge to get back at the Yankees kind of game. He gave up a grand slam. So there is a lot of risk there, but I like it if you're going that way. Phillies average-wise, 26th, 25th in on-base percentage, so they're not really quite the hitting team, but they will hit for power and they will strike out. So they're very similar to the Yankees in that regard. Pitching wise, 13th in ERA, 16th in WHIP, so not bad, just kind of average. 20th in home runs allowed. They are striking guys out though. So we don't have that lineup out yet, but if Didi Gregorius is in there, he is a decent play. He does have 3 home runs against Kluber. So we'll see once that lineup gets released. Next, we got the Twins Red Sox. Red Sox slight favorites here to open. We don't even have a pitcher yet for the Red Sox, but you got Jose Barrios for the Twins. So pitching wise, Barrios in an okay spot. Red Sox have been really hot. They can hit the ball. So potential fade situation for Barrios. He might be a safe bet, cash, games for sure. He has been pitching very well. 13.2 innings pitched, 12 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, 14 strikeouts. So just kind of, he's pretty average. So you can go there. Twins hitting wise, not great. 29th in average, 30th in on-base percentage. They've been terrible. They are hitting for power, though. They're right in the middle there with home runs. They are striking out. So I like targeting Twins hitters with any pitcher. We don't know what's going on with the Red Sox situation, so we don't know who is starting. And they had a rookie start yesterday. So that's a little bit unclear, but it might just stay away from that overall. And then pitching-wise for the Twins, 24th in ERA, 21st in WHIP. So not bad, not great. And then moving on to the Red Sox, hitting wise, we know what they can do. 7th in average, 6th in on-base percentage, 4th in home runs. And then they're just kind of striking out right in the middle of the bunch. But I love the bottom half of this Red Sox lineup. We know what they can do. They can turn that lineup over and over and over. Pitching wise, just very average, right in the middle, kind of everywhere. In play, Renfroe surprisingly is just hitting the ball against righties, lefties. So I like him here. He has power. So that in DraftKings and in DFS in general, this is a guy who can hit home runs. So Renfroe is a decent spot. Dahlbeck, Devers, you can only pick one because they're both only third base eligible. Dahlbeck has been hot. He can hit righties out of the park. Devers is a great play as well. Bogarts, Kike Hernandez at the top. So those are all decent options here. Moving on, last game, Braves, Rays. Rays open as slight favorites, but I believe right now it's kind of tied. Morton going against his former team. And then you got Yarborough. Braves in a decent spot here, I would think. You could take a chance on Morton. He has pitched well. They're kind of easing him in. I actually like him in this spot going against the Rays. The Rays hitting wise kind of struggling a little bit, I guess, but they're pesky. We know that. Braves hitting wise, they're 20th in average, but they are getting on base. They're 9th overall in on base percentage. The power is there. They'll only get better. Strikeouts, they're 20th in the league. Pitching wise, been pretty excellent. 7th in ERA, 11th in WHIP. So the bullpen has been pretty good as well as their starters. Right in the middle of home runs allowed, but they are striking guys out. So that makes it kind of tough to get to the Rays hitting, I would think. But in play for the Braves, Swanson, Ozuna, Acuna, just kind of the main guys here look decent, I would say. And then Rays side, Yarborough, 8.1 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, struck out 7, walked 2. The pitching for the Rays, they got to figure out a lot of things. So I think I'll stay away from him. He'll probably only go 1 or 2 or 3 innings. It's not really a starter per se. The Rays are just a big question mark, but we obviously know what they can do. They went to the World Series last year. So, maybe just a little bit of some slumping going on early on. We'll see. But average wise, 17th, 21st in on base percentage. They are 12th in home runs, and then they are striking out. So that makes Morton pretty appealing. Going against his former team could hurt him. It might go the other way for the Rays, but we'll see. But I like the spot for Morton. Rays pitching, not been good. ERA is not great. They're giving up way too many home runs. The whip is good, so they're not walking a ton of guys, but they're not really striking out a lot of guys either. I don't really like the Rays lineup all that much today. Margot's decent. Yandy Diaz, Wendell, like nothing sexy there. But that's it. I hope this helped you. If this helped you or you learned something new today, give this video a thumbs up. My name's Tim Williams. We'll be breaking down all of these, slates going into the baseball season as well as the baseball season as well. I really appreciate all the feedback I've been getting. You guys have been awesome. Drop a comment below. Let's talk. Let's connect. Let's talk baseball. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun. And let's get this W. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day.